Jeremy, I won the jackpot on this game at David Buster's.
We can get all those little tiny Chinese finger traps and chocolates.
They have shot glasses with little pirate heads on them.
I love pirate heads.
Yeah, so I'm saving up for that. Jeremy, that's not how the whack-a-mole machine works. That's not how it works. You're supposed to use the mallet. This is very inappropriate.
Jeremy, stop jerking off the whack-a-mole.
Oh, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Wait.
Oh my God.
You're out of place.
I'm undercover. Shut up.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Who? Okay.
It's been a long time. It's me, CJ.
CJ. Hey, how's it go? How did our advice work for you,
How's
buddy?
the lady?
Hey, I'm still doing Jeremy's plan, actively.
Oh, well, I mean, you use some of mine, though, right?
A little bit.
Okay, see,
Mostly Jeremy.
They work together.
I told you, Mike.
It was a combo. Well, anyway, what's going on?
I stole a podcast for you guys that I think I'd be perfect for.
You stole a podcast for
I
us?
told you one day
did,
this
it's
would
right-
happen, Mike. I told you one day our listeners would start stealing for us.
I love it.
It's in this costume, so we got to get out of here before someone notices that I'm here.
Oh, okay. Wait, can we go spend my tickets really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Too many kids.
Two best buddies start talking about whatever they want. They're looking for a show to steal and treasure to hunt. Michael and Jeremy steal your podcast. Michael and Jeremy steal your podcast. They like to get crazy and talk a lot of trash. Michael and Jeremy steal your podcast.
Welcome to Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, CJ.
Hey, guys.
Hey, thank you for stealing the podcast for us this week.
Hey, no problem.
So what is it? What is it called?
Brighter Spectrum Podcast.
Oh, it's about art?
No, it's a look at parenting children on the autism spectrum.
Oh, like light painting.
Sure,
Oh, okay.
but with people.
That makes so much sense. You'd be a perfect guest for this podcast.
I would. I have a 6-year-old with autism.
See, whenever I'm just the kind of person that whenever I hear the word autism, I just go back to that thing that I came up with where it's like, what do you mean my daughter's autistic? I bought her all these crayons. She draws. That's not a problem, is it? She makes such beautiful art.
Yeah, sure, she eats them, but got her all the crayons.
She is incredibly autistic. Why is that a problem?
You know, they do eat crayons sometimes. It's very frustrating.
I wonder if is it certain colors? Because the certain tastes and color association, like strawberry, kiwis, pink.
So believe it or not, like especially with mine, they sometimes they get very, very food picky. But if certain things are a certain color, they're more inclined to put it in their mouths, which is kind of how mine works. He's more willing to try foods that are either white or yellow than he is anything else. And occasionally eats a white or yellow crayon, and I have to babysit him when he's coloring.
That's how Mike treats his dating profile. He's just looking for whites and yellows.
Oh my God.
It's not true.
Yeah, you don't like the yellow ones. You just like the white ones.
It's not true.
I don't know. Either option sounds pretty good.
Anything sounds good. Anything. Please. I'm a nice guy.
Your dust cover's coming in the mail.
Oh, might as well be.
I keep trying to get us a sponsorship from Autoglow for you.
That'll help.
You know, maybe you should do what the big fad is right now and get one of those plugs that have the LEDs in the bottom, so you have an underbody light.
Put it in my butthole?
Yeah. See, I can't say that out loud because there's a 6-year-old.
Ah, right.
I actually went outlet shopping today, and I was looking at those covers for the lights underneath them, and I was like, nah, screw it. I bought the outlet that had the lights in them, so I just
There you
changed
go.
out my outlets.
Yeah, no, it's a big fad right now. You actually see people with underbody lights just walking in the street.
I like it.
Is it mostly men?
Not at all. I have not seen a single man doing it, though it would not shock me.
I think that's a great idea.
I'd probably give him a high five and be like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, what if you go down a dark alley, you can't see the ground?
I think I'd be at the club. I think it's weird that there's something in your butt right now.
Well, if you're out in the woods with it, it makes it really easy to decide whether you're a man or a bear.
Yeah. Is that a bear? Check its butt.
Don't want any critters crawling up there. Hold on. Pulling ticks out of your asshole. Not on my watch.
So what kind of things do the host and the people discuss on this podcast?
So it seems like primarily there's two parts to the show, right? The first part is about the kids, and they typically ask them, what is it like to raise them? How are those kids? What are their story? Because those stories they vary from child to child, experience to experience, but a lot of it's relatable back and forth. The second part of the show is about the parents. It's something that people rarely ever talk about. Usually when we're talking about children and on the spectrum and we're advocating for those things, which everybody should be doing, no one really talks about the parents. It's always just strictly about the kids. And a lot of times, like, you'll see this kid just going bananas in public and you're like, what is going on? And then there's just this mom standing there who looks like she might be wearing a homeless man's clothing. And she's not even sure if she is or not because she hasn't slept in 3 days because she's been dealing with insanity in the household. And so the host really likes to get into, what it's like for them. Like, where are they going through the emotional roller coasters from finding out their child's autistic to how they are to this day and the things that they're dealing with in their mental state and how they feel emotionally and try to validate them and bring them up as parents to make them feel better about their situation.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Do you imagine in the store when they're having their outburst, and then you've got the guy who walks by is like, "That's why you should hit your kids," and then keeps going.
That happens
to you, Jeremy.
I know.
all the time.
It's like, I just walk by with milk. I'm like, ugh, parents today.
Too soft.
Right. Right. And then, you know what? I used to be one of those parents too, or one of those people, but like I deal with it constantly. Like my son himself, he doesn't do it often, but if there's too many people or too much noise and he just gets overstimulated, instead of having like a meltdown or like a violent outburst, like a lot of kids with autism do, he stops listening to what he's told to do and just does whatever the F he wants. Right. And a lot of times it's just like putting stuff in the cart off the shelf at random or hooting and hollering and yelling. And at one point when he was 4,
He built a
we
pipe
went
bomb.
past a no.
He wrote a manifesto.
I almost prefer that was the case. And we were in the frozen food aisle, and this guy and this lady they had a fridge open, and he starts like making sounds. She turns and looks at him and he goes, "Fat booty."
Hell yeah. Kid's a legend, dude.
And the husband looked at me and I was like, yeah, I didn't teach him that. So sorry. And he's like, yeah, you better be. I'm like, whoa. Listen.
Crazy YouTube videos.
Right. Relax. Like, this is not that serious. Like, he's 4.
Yeah, I don't understand why that would even be an issue to begin with.
Yeah, it's a child.
If a child was like, fat booty, I'd
Right.
be like, see, babe, I told you look good today.
Right. Well, I mean, like, they walk away and I looked at him and I'm like, you're not wrong, but don't do that.
You just give him a fist bump.
Yeah, it's just like, boom.
Oh yeah, no, like internally, I'm like, my boy took to it natural, like. But yeah, no. Sometimes it's crazy, and they do stuff like that. And yeah, but parents, they really do. Like, you'll be standing at the deli counter, and your kid's just like wiling out because they wanted a free piece of cheese, and the deli assistant didn't give it to them, which sometimes is enough. Like, if it's part of their routine, like if there's like the normal deli person who always gives them the piece of cheese, and you get there and this other person doesn't do it, and it breaks that routine, instantaneous meltdown.
Oh no.
Just that whole like the world's ending. If the routine breaks, the world ends. Meltdown time.
This isn't how the store
And-
is supposed to be. Yeah.
Right. They think something's wrong. They don't understand what's happening. This always happens. Why isn't this person giving me a piece of cheese? I love cheese. Then they get that going in their head. The anxiety builds, the emotions build up, and then they just lose control of themselves. And then people look at you and they're like, "You just gonna let them act like that?" And then it's like, dude, like, I gotta calm him down. Like, let me put these headphones on him. Let me soothe him. It's like he doesn't actually have control of this. He just went into an emotional overload. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, look, and at this point, a lot of us parents, like, we really feel like we have to explain ourselves, right? Like this is an embarrassing situation. We have to talk to you about it. And we're like, listen, he's autistic, and this is just something that kind of happens. And sometimes they're like, oh, okay. And other times, like, you'll get something like, he doesn't look autistic, which is my favorite.
What do you want? What is your expectation, ma'am?
Why? Because he doesn't look like
Right.
you?
Ah.
Turn it around,
like,
make it an
no,
insult.
No, I've seriously looked at people and been like, what do you want me to do? And like one time I lost my temper with that person. And I guess in a way it was inappropriate and insensitive towards my son. But I looked at this person and I was like, what do you want? And I looked at my kid and I went, Logan, do an autism. And he just looked at this person. And he was like, and I was like, see?
It's another fist bump moment. Got your back.
Oh, no, he understands the assignment. He actually does that meme too once in a while. He'll go, I understood the assignment. It's funny. They pair it a lot in script.
So did you know when before he was born? Is that something they can find out before the child is born? Autism?
I don't actually know. He started showing signs of it at around 8 months when he started walking. He would get frustrated, and instead of like reacting like a typical toddler does, where toddlers have just a whole tantrum right then and there, instead of doing that, he would start banging his head off the floor and off walls and tables and stuff. And he's bruised himself a couple of good times where like you're looking at this child and he's got this big knot in his head and you're like, oh, I'm going to jail. No one's going to believe he did this to himself.
Ooh.
Yeah. Almost every time we go to the doctor's like, where'd this one come from? And that one and this one and that one. It's like, meltdowns. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, they already know.
There's certain bruises that they look for, I'm sure. Hand marks, grabbing arms and legs and leaving bruises and stuff.
Calloused penis.
Yeah, oh my God. Believe it or not, I've been punched in the head once or twice in my life, and some of the bruising on his forehead looks very, very similar to it.
So your son, we understand, but CJ, why are your nipples bleeding?
Yeah, I just like nervously look over at my girl. I don't know. I fell down the stairs.
How's it going with the girl?
Oh, fantastic! Actually, I'm moving in with her at the end of next month.
Beautiful.
This is the plan. And
Been 2.5 years now.
And so, utilizing for anybody that doesn't know, you were on our Coaching with Kath episode, and we gave you life advice, much like life coaches do. And so, just out of curiosity, just getting an update on that is a good opportunity to do so. So, tell us a little bit more. Reminisce. We can go back to where you were at. You were debating on how to move forward with the fact that you were living with your ex and her boyfriend. They lived with you. You all lived together, and you've been dating this chick for 2 years at the time. And you were trying to get advice on, how's the custody going to work once you leave, with your special boy. So how has that progressed? What advice did you take specific? Whose advice specifically?
That's what you wanted to ask the entire time. You went on a pretty long thing there.
So that's, who ended up doing more work for you that day?
No, and also just give us the backstory, how things played out, the moves you made, how people reacted to the moves you made.
Pretty much went full guerrilla warfare, just kind of dropped into the shadows, said nothing, do nothing, pretend everything is all right. And I'm just gathering and evidence and taking photos and journaling and keeping receipts and waiting because I'm gonna launch a blitzkrieg the first chance that I get. So my thing right now is to finish moving out, moving in with my girlfriend, getting that situation set up, and then obtaining a work from home position. And once I have a work from home position, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yes, sir.
And then you use some of my plan too, right? It's just some of it.
Refresh me on what your plan was.
Well, yeah, to talk to your ex, and be a little to give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, and maybe to help to change her as a human being for the better.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Listen, I dealt with that woman for 15 years. If something was going to change, it would have changed.
Fair enough.
So you would say that you did get some helpful advice from the show, from that episode?
Yeah. I would say so. I would say so. Unless it backfires horribly, and then I'm going to send you the angriest voice message.
I think it's all going to work out, buddy.
And I'm going to project everything onto you when I should have listened to Michael.
Should have went with Michael's plan.
I should have told her all of my moves and had no receipts.
No, my plan was to never tell her all of your moves, but to give her an opportunity for the 50-50 split and try and walk her into, basically becoming a better mom, more responsible, because a lot of people, they tend to only change when they have to. So you have to present the situation and then say, listen, this is how it's going to go. These are going to be your new responsibilities. And we just want to make sure we're all on the same page that those are things that you are going to be able to handle. And if not, then we can go another route.
Terrible advice.
To be fair, I did kind of do some of that. Like right now we are doing a 50-50 split on who has him, and I tried to be nice, but like your work schedule fluctuates, mine doesn't. So let me know what your work schedule is and we can work out days. And she just never lets me know what days I are and has zero chance for communication. And anytime I bring something up, she's like, well, you could have followed up with me. I'm like, I asked you initially what your schedule was. You said you didn't know. You were supposed to tell me when you found out, and just trying to be in general, like a complete 50-50 split. And she just pawns him off on essentially his stepdad at this point.
So you say that she hasn't been very cooperative or understanding or stepping up to any sort of plate.
Oh, no, not at all. It's just been an opportunity at this point to seize control of a situation and continue to try to tell me what to do all the time.
Wow, it's almost like it happens all the time to almost everybody, every man.
Guess I just got lucky.
Right.
Yeah, well, you did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I've never seen people separated like you were, happily helping each other move stuff from your place into my place.
Yeah, we're still like good friends.
Yeah, just laughing and talking. And
It's very confusing.
yep, it is. And then you go home, and then she goes home, but she goes home and gets like eaten out by some like beefy ginger dude with tattoos.
Oh, no.
And you're editing a podcast.
Well, it makes sense. There's no soul to suck out of that guy.
No, but she keeps trying.
Oh, it hurts. That was painful.
I love you, Mike.
Okay.
No, actually, I told my ex's new man the one day because he was down here muttering to himself, and he's like, "I understand why he left you, blah blah blah." And I looked at him and I was like, "Yo, no takebacks."
You've done this yourself.
Yeah, you were telling that story about you guys got some drinks in you that one time, and you got drunk and told him you thanked him for taking her off your hands.
I sure did.
Now he's like, I understand why he said that to me.
Yeah, he said it a couple of times. My brother's heard him say it. My brother's since moved into the house. He's heard him say it. My other roommates heard him say it. I've heard him say it. I was like, yo, no takebacksies. Absolutely not. Like, this is I made the bed, you're lying in it. That's it.
But you can also leave whenever you want, though. Like, you can go.
Right.
He signed a contract.
I'm just like praying that like he just waits till I'm out of the house and have a work from home job before he does anything stupid.
Well, I am incredibly happy to hear that you've made your moves, and it seems like you've taken the high ground, and I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I pretty much refuse to fight with her anymore. It drives her insane. I just like look at her and walk away.
Yeah, and at this point, the emotional that's all gone, so there's no like leverage emotionally.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's like she can say whatever she wants and just stoic response. It's the thing that's going to drive him the most crazy.
You know, I don't even try to drive her crazy. I'm just me, and that's what happens.
Right.
Because I'm just like I'm not a controllable person. Like if I respond really well to like if you ask me to do something like, hey, I've got this going on. Do you mind helping me out? And usually I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. But like if you walk in a room and you're like, you're doing this, I'm like, you thought like I could have, but I'm not doing it now just to be a dick.
How does the kid feel about the new transition? How'd that affect him? You know, especially considering the normalcy of his routine. You know, how is that affecting him?
So fortunately for me, I don't deal with too much in the way of him getting crazy with a broken routine. If you break his routine, he goes like a day or two where like he just doesn't want to listen to what you tell him to do. He just wants to do whatever he wants. But at that point, I just give him like this weighted stuffed animal he has and a couple things that have screens on them. And I'm like, hey, work through your issues, dude. If you need a hug, let me know. And typically, if I kind of just back off of him and just kind of let him live his life for a day or two and then try to swing things back into normalcy, he responds really well to that. So like every time we'd be at Walmart, I'd buy him a toy or something. And it kind of got into his head that every time we go to the store that we're getting something. And when I realized that this was bad, right?
Which that's a normal kid thing, right? He's experiencing the same thing as all the other kids. He just might have a harder time letting it go.
I always got a Spider-Man comic book whenever we went to Albertsons.
If I can still picture like the linoleum floors of Albertsons, and
they had like a video, like you could rent a video from there. Mm-hmm. They had a little video shop.
Yeah, a little arcade too.
That was like Lanco out here.
You remember when you were a kid and you were excited to put the quarter in the little horse and just like chugga back and forth for a minute?
Yeah.
It was the most exciting thing ever.
I remember being excited
and
autistic?
Happy.
What? No.
We might be a little autistic.
How does that spectrum work?
Well, they used to have it divided among all these various disorders, you know, that included things like Asperger's and all this other stuff. And they were like, this is too much for the filing system. Everything is autism. So it's all just in like this varying range. And I've seen some people mention things like level 1, level 2, level 3, and I actually don't understand what any of that is. But I'm just imagining it's just a varying degree of severity. And we have kids like my son who he's getting better at talking now. He was primarily nonverbal until the school year, and he started going through speech therapy. He's talking a lot more now. But we have kids that do not talk, do not use the bathroom, completely incapable of handling crowds, completely incapable of handling social situations, show absolutely zero affection, have meltdowns constantly, will do things like, oh, wait, get that out of your mouth, man. Hey, out of your mouth. What do you mean don't say that? Who are you talking to? Get that out of your mouth, bro. Dude, that is not food. Hold on 1 second.
No, you're good.
I worked in a dish pit with a guy who said he had Asperger's.
Mm-hmm.
He was a huge dick. Like he was just an asshole.
Don't put stuff in
I was always nice with him
Yeah.
because he was just an asshole to everybody.
Right.
But that was what he's like, oh yeah, I've got Asperger's, and that's why I say shit that as soon as it pops in my head, I say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I do that. Like,
I work with a guy with Asperger's too.
is that what it's like?
Well, he's the kind of guy, he's very much of a dick, but he's also, if he likes you, he's very nice.
Okay, yeah, this guy was super nice, but he'd say super fucked up shit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He does. So mine does too.
Okay, yeah.
But
that's what Asperger's was.
he also remembers.
That's what I thought, because I didn't know if this guy was just fucking with me that I worked with.
He also remembers everything. Everything.
Now, is that, and so that's part of the autism spectrum now? Is that what you're saying, CJ?
Yeah. Asperger's is one of the things that it's on the spectrum. So Asperger's, it's more social. It's not like an intellectual thing. Like my son's autistic with an intellectual disability, which is a really polite way of using the R word, right?
That's Michael. Mentally challenged. Is that still a thing they say?
No, they just say intellectually disabled. So my son's diagnosed with that, but like he reads at like a 5th grade level and he just graduated kindergarten. So I'm not sure if the doctor really gave him that diagnosis because it was true, or more so that we would qualify for better services. Like she was throwing us a bone. But obviously she would never explain that to us because she could get in trouble.
Right.
But so Asperger's it's like a social thing where they don't understand what is socially acceptable and what isn't. So a lot of them will do one of two things. They will either be dead silent all the time because they don't know if what they're going to say is going to get them in trouble or hated or something. And then the other ones who will just say whatever comes to their head. And so those intrusive thoughts that you have sometimes when you're talking to a person just come right out of their mouths. And people are like, you're an ass.
Oh, like Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. Yep. Just like Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. It's all coming together. But if you had to pick the most embarrassing moment that you've had to relive for everyone, what would that be?
He full force punched me in the wiener in the middle of the grocery store.
Ooh.
Oh no.
And I got
weak
dropped
button.
to my knees by a 5-year-old in the grocery store.
Oh no.
He found your weak button and he'll never forget it.
Also he did it to me in front of the zoo. My girlfriend launched him at me like a missile and he headbutted me right in the crotch, and that dropped me to my knees too. In both situations, several people around me were laughing, which to him, very positive response.
Oh no. People like it when I hit my dad in the nuts.
He's like, hell yeah. I'm a comical genius.
He's just like, time to go home.
Right. So like there was for about a year and a half, it was like being back in college again. And I'd like be minding my business, maybe eating a half a sandwich or something, and just get walloped in the boys.
He's gonna do that when you're 80.
I'm gonna do it to him when I'm 80. Like, you remember this?
Hey dad, boom. Just walks up. Hey dad, bam.
I mean, he does it to me when I'm 80. I'll be on the ground like, I don't eat those anymore anyway.
I've been such a great father. Why?
Oh my God. But no, like that was probably my most embarrassing one, because I mean, there were people were, I mean, if someone gets whacked in the nuts, people are laughing. I'd laugh if I saw somebody get whacked in the nuts. You know, there's that moment of empathy where you're like, ooh, but then you're laughing because you're like,
you know, they're okay. They're just in temporary pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I actually know a guy who got walloped in the groin so hard once he had to get staples put into his thing.
Ooh.
That's fucking
like,
heavy
I guess
metal,
like
dude.
when they hit him, like, you know, his testiculos turned around, and the doctor had to put them back and then put staples so that they wouldn't turn back around.
Ugh.
Yeah, getting hit in the nuts is no joke.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
just
pretty
picturing
I don't know.
it.
There's a multi-billion-dollar industry on people getting hit in the nuts online.
It really is. The guy in the orange wig who runs around just kicking people.
So CJ, what do you think about this like all of a sudden rise in kids, like parents being like, my kid's on the spectrum? Do you believe that all those kids are actually on? I guess if you call it a spectrum, then we're all on it. You know, I guess technically we're all on it at that point. But
to a point. But see, I'm like a huge conspiracy theorist. So, you know, when we have all these, you know, different things coming out and, you know, chemically produced foods, and like for instance, margarine was a thing in like I think it came out in the 30s. Alzheimer's was not a thing until about 50 years after margarine came out, and margarine was super popular with like the boomer generation and Generation X. And now we're seeing all these people in like the early stages of Alzheimer's, dementia and stuff. And the millennial generation's kind of where like we sort of had it. But then people were like, butter's way better. And like we went back to it, and we're not really seeing that so much, but we're also not old enough to really be getting there. But
I can't believe it's not butter. It's Alzheimer's.
Right. But like, what do you think? Margarine's a molecule away from being plastic. Right. So, and if you throw a wad of margarine on the ground, insects will not touch it, and it won't degrade. You throw butter on the ground, bugs all over it in minutes.
And Gary.
And they did tell you butter was bad, and this thing's better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you that.
Yeah. And we have these buildup of like microplastics and stuff, and then all the different chemicals they're putting in our food, and like they're just passing laws now that says they're not allowed to put vaccinations in our food. All these different just chemicals they're throwing at us and not telling us that they're throwing at us. And it doesn't surprise me if something like autism on the rise. And on top of that too, it's like years and years ago, they didn't really have like a name for autism, right? So if you were like really severe,
Well, no, there were
you get
names
locked
for
up.
it. We're just not allowed to say them anymore.
right? Well, yeah, they would say the kids were retarded or insane.
Remember
They
when
would-
retarded was a cool hip hop phrase for like just getting loose and having a good time?
Right,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
right. No, and I think the last people to use it was the Black Eyed Peas, and no one listens to them anymore.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's sort of a millennial word, right? Yeah,
I
we
guess, yeah.
Now Fergie just punches people in the balls on the internet.
That's fantastic. I love
I
it.
would watch that. And she's just Fergalicious and she's punching people.
Would you let Fergie punch you in the boys?
No.
Just to say that Fergie touched you?
No, she's not my top.
No.
She's not my top.
Michael, stop the cap. I believe Jeremy.
No, I would not.
Mike would let any beautiful woman punch him in the balls if he's had some bourbon.
Touched me.
I moved to Scotch.
Did you? Did you move to Scotch?
I'm drinking Scotch today.
Nice.
Very refined whiskey. Good job.
It was my last. The Scotch was my last step before I just got off of liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, man, I love liquor so much, and then I was just getting too wasted.
It works very quick.
Yeah,
Scotch makes me very sleepy.
because I like to drink, like throughout my time. If I'm gonna drink, I like to drink.
Yeah, you like to Bert Kreischer it.
Well, no, because he does
have a
cocktails and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna drink until I go to bed. At that point, if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink till I go to bed. If you drink whiskey till you go to bed, you're fucked up at the end of the
Is
night.
there a larger or smaller risk of alcoholism with autism? Is there an association with that? I feel like there would be.
I have absolutely no idea, but I do know that nobody on my father's side of the family has died of old age, and most of them have died of cirrhosis. So
What is that, like the skin disorder?
No,
cirrhosis, that's where your liver corrodes from
Yeah.
drinking.
No.
it's when your blood turns to poison.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't know. I'm actually going for genetic testing in September, because they want to trace who gave the child the tism, right?
Weird.
And no, not weird, especially because we're separated, right? Me and my ex are not together.
Oh,
with
for
other
future.
people.
For the future. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like if we decide that more children, like my current girlfriend, she is on the fence. She doesn't know whether she wants them or not. And part of us being together, I had to be open to the idea of potentially having children with her. So now, like, it's going to be really good. Like, if I find out it's my fault, well, that kind of gives me an out, right? So,
Oh, they find ways. She'll get you in there. They'll separate sperm. They'll make it all perfect. They'll have 12 babies in tubes, and they'll pick the perfect
I'll
one.
just start doing something weird and holistic, like eating more asparagus. That'll fix it.
She just puts cucumber juice in all your food.
I have something fun. So I did start to type in "do autistic people," and then I allowed the internet to fill it in. So I'm gonna go over some of these.
Okay, I like it.
Do autistic people die early? It's a little morbid.
That was fun, Mike. Thank you.
Do
Don't answer that question. I don't want to know that one.
Do autistic people have sex?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably they do a better job at it. Probably.
Well, to be fair, Michael, I'm actually going to be going for an evaluation myself. If it comes back that I am in fact autistic, because I do display quite a few of the characteristics of a person with autism, just extremely high masking and high functioning. If it comes back, then I can in fact confirm that autistic people do have sex.
Oh, okay. Do you talk to yourself?
Yeah, it's like the most intelligent conversation I'll have all day.
You don't talk to yourself?
Wait, do you like hugs?
Everyone loves hugs.
I like hugs from specific people. I do not like being touched by just anybody. I will freaking lose it if people touch me and I'm not expecting it, or it's somebody who I don't want touching me, which is pretty much everyone except for a handful of people.
Oh, it's like when you're lying on your side in bed, and even though you're in bed with somebody, they touch your back, right?
Yeah.
Like with their fingertips.
Yeah.
And it feels like someone's burning you with hot irons. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
No.
It's horrible.
No.
It's a horrible
Are
feeling.
you having sex with demons?
What? No.
Oh yeah, he was for a little while. Shots fired.
Do autistic people cry?
Not as much as you'd think.
These are terrible. Everybody does all these
This
things.
is what the internet wants to know. I'm just providing that info.
I'll tell you what's crazy. There are times autistic people should cry and they don't, and it's terrifying. A lot of people think that these kids are like very delicate and you have to like walk on eggshells with them, and to a point, emotionally or like environmentally, you kind of do. But like if they fall and just they're at full sprint, they trip, they fall, head right into the wall, no tears. They go ow and they get mad.
Well, isn't there a Venn diagram of like autistic behavior and psychopath behavior?
I've never seen that, but that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I think
Like,
there's a Mike. Look that up. I think
Well, I have
there's
good
a-
news. I have a quiz that we can give
you should-
to find out if CJ is autistic.
I think we should find out. I think we should find out if Michael's autistic.
I think
or,
we should all
Jeremy.
take it. We should all take the quiz.
All right, let's all take it. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
so let's see here. My imagination creates clear pictures in my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. So I think we're all on the same page.
I'm a dungeon master. Of course it does.
I can't tell if the person I'm talking to is getting bored.
Every time.
I always know.
Yeah. I have no idea unless it's extremely obvious on their face.
Okay, so you're not sure, Jeremy?
I've 100%. I know.
Yeah, I do too. So let's go with CJ's. So I often don't have that sensitivity, would you say?
That's fair.
It's hard for me to express my feelings.
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Depends, yeah.
I would say no, but I've also trained myself in the last like 8 years to be very in tune with my emotions and being able to communicate them.
I tell everyone how I feel all the time.
You do some crying, Stu? I'm good at that.
I cry very occasionally, mostly during movies. That's during sad parts of movies.
Sometimes when the host is recording Brighter Spectrum, he cries when his guest is talking because it's very touching.
Oh, you've heard that?
I'm
I've heard that. I've heard that.
I'm like that as well. I cry a lot, actually, frequently. If anything touching, if I see or hear anything kind of touching or sad or,
So expressing feelings, I rarely have a problem expressing them. Always, I'd rather keep them to myself. It's often a big problem for me, or I can communicate it to people I'm comfortable with.
No, I'll tell whoever I think wants to hear about it.
Okay.
whoever you want. See, I think I'm confused in this because I'm not just going to be sad at the grocery store and cry while grabbing mustard.
Well, no, that's
Like-
not what we're talking about.
I'm not going to also lose my temper in front of people I shouldn't be losing my temper in front of. So it's easy to control your emotions, but then if you're like, if I'm just chilling by myself watching
It's
anything,
not difficult for you to express your emotions. If you
I'm not
want
saying like it's hard
if
to
you want
control it. Like
If you want to express your
Right.
emotions, you
Okay,
can.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a change of plans. How do you feel about this?
I can't stand it.
It was the worst thing in the world.
I mean, it depends.
Absolutely.
Am I a little relieved that I don't have to now do this thing? Because that's kind of cool.
What?
When
Actually,
a plan changes and I'm like, oh, so I get to take off all these clothes and chill and do whatever I want? That's dope.
That's plans canceling. Plans changing is different.
Oh, okay. So like when my wife says, hey, we should go to this store. And then once I get there, she's got 3 more places she wants to stop that she didn't tell me
Or
about.
instead of having 3 hours before you go, you got to leave in 20 minutes.
Right. Or it's something like, hey, you know how we were going to go watch the new Rocky movie tonight? Actually, we're going to this other theater. They're showing Terminator.
Oh, yeah. Who would want that? Ugh.
It's those kind of plan changes.
Obviously, I want to see Rocky die of cancer.
I get really upset. I wouldn't say I get really upset, but it definitely bothers me. It will trouble me a bit, is what I would go
Yeah, I
with.
think so. I think this happened last week, actually, with my work schedule. I was all up and down Florida, and I got a call like, hey, we don't normally ask this. Can you work super late Friday night to knock this thing out? And I was like, fuck, I was going to go home, grill up some steaks.
And those plans
like-
changed. The
Well,
plans changed.
And then and I was upset, and then I accepted it, and then it rained out there, and I didn't have to do it. So I was like, it changed twice, roller coaster.
So would you get really upset for sure or trouble you a bit when plans change, CJ?
My panties get all the way in a knot.
Get really upset for sure.
Yep.
Hey everybody, Future Michael here. No band of the week. Oh yes, I know. But we are brought to you by Dungeon Studios, makers of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons modules, as well as podcasts like The Game, Nerd News, and Fables from the Forgotten, an audio drama which I do some stuff on. I do the sound engineering, and I act in it too. So check that out. And I don't know if you caught this, but we did stream our 100th episode extravaganza on Facebook. Now, when it comes to released episodes, we haven't released 100. We still have, obviously this one that you're listening to now, as well as another one which drops the following Monday, and then we will air the live stream that we did on Facebook Monday after. So, you really should start following us on Facebook, so that way you can catch the cool live streams and stuff that we do. We're moving and a shaking. We ended up doing this stupid questionnaire for like 25 minutes. And it was not good. So I actually cut it, and I'm going to be placing this on our Patreon page. So if you wanted to hear us continue to give CJ the Are You Autistic questions, you can go to our Patreon page, and I will drop this in association with the episode. So just stupid. All right, bye. I'm abandoning this. This is taking too long, and it's not good radio.
CJ's already going for an evaluation anyways.
Just tell us how it goes.
Let's just send an email.
Oh my God, you panicked and went to a random quiz.
I did. Well, I didn't panic. I just thought it'd be interesting, but I thought it was like a BuzzFeed quiz. Are you autistic? BuzzFeed asks.
I knew the answer when I walked back into the studio and you were chewing on the phone panel, dude.
I think we have a question that we want to ask CJ, but we've already asked him this question. Yeah. I feel like maybe there's somebody else with CJ we could ask this question.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Would your little guy like to answer our show question?
Logan, you want to answer a question? Yes or no? Okay, come over here. All right, ask a question.
Hi, just a quick question. Who is better, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone?
Do you like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone? Do you like Rocky or do you like Arnold? There you go.
Who did he say?
Yes, sir.
He said Rocky.
Oh, nice.
Who are they to protest me, huh? Who are they? Unless they've been me and been there and know what the hell they're yelling about.
Man, I'm getting my ass beat. I'm getting my ass beat right now.
You raised a good boy.
I had questioned your parenting skills.
Now Mike's the guy who's like, he should just hit him. I don't understand why he's letting him be
CPS
so loud.
is going to knock on my door tomorrow. We got an anonymous report.
I'm really making a comeback this season.
Oh, so I binged the new season of The Boys. And there's a character in the season called Ezekiel who plays like this like pastor, like, this evangelist pastor guy. He talks on the stage.
Okay.
Right? And I was positive that it was John Feldman from Goldfinger. So I was like, why is John Feldman from Goldfinger in The Boys? I had to like go on the internet and look it up. And it wasn't him, but the actor looked exactly like John Feldman.
I don't know who that is.
From Goldfinger.
The James Bond?
James Bond?
Yeah.
No, the band. The musical group.
99 Red Balloons?
Yes.
When you found this information out, would you say that you were elated, extremely upset, or so-so?
I was sure that it was him, and then I was a little disappointed that it wasn't.
These questions really don't ever end.
I would have bet money that it was him.
Wow, what a cool observation, man. It's really super, man.
You're doing everything you can, holding on to what you am, pretending you're a Superman.
That's right. So he gets it.
What a terrible band.
It's not a terrible band.
I mean, they're not great.
Oh, you stop it. You stop it.
They're
Finger's
not
fantastic.
great.
The Knife.
That song was on repeat in Tony Hawk, and you know that's what you're listening to. Except that
I like Tony Hawk Underground too, where you get to be on Bam's team and then on Tony Hawk's team. That was cool.
Whatever happened to Bam Margera?
Drugs.
Drugs happened?
he went absolutely crazy, got banned from his hometown. His hometown's actually 2 hours from mine.
Up there in
And
PA.
There's a big sign that says,
Yeah.
no Bam Margeras.
Bam Margera is not allowed in Westchester, PA.
Wow.
They just had an incident with him not long ago where he was like crazy and like living out in the woods and stuff for a couple days, and like he came back and I think they arrested him.
He was so
They
mean
must-
to his dad.
No.
Yeah, he was mean to everybody.
I don't know. He made that family a lot of money.
Well, I don't know if he gave any of it to him.
Well, it's like after Ryan Dunn died, like he completely lost his mind.
Well,
Like,
and then
he's
his
not doing good.
and Uncle Vito turned out to be a molester of children. There was that too.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Don
Who?
Vito.
Yeah, Don Vito's a diaper sniper. It's crazy.
Yeah, he like little babies.
He would eat diapers?
Yep.
And just like that dude from the Lost Prophets, like all these people who we like love, just diaper snipers.
Yep. Turned out to be pedophiles, Mike.
I'm trying to remember who Don Vito is.
He's Bam's
Oh,
uncle.
it's the big old fat guy. Oh, he looks like a fucking pedophile. Yeah, he's all cross-eyed.
Oh my god. What qualifies them as a pedophile? I got a lazy eye, sir.
His eye went crooked from looking at 2-minute children.
My gosh. That's
Yeah, that was wild. I loved that show growing up. Jackass and Bam, Wild Boys.
You know, I am wondering, like, because, well, how would you guys feel? Like, how do you think you would feel if you found out one of your children were autistic?
I would still love her very, very much.
Delaney's not autistic, Mike.
But if she was, isn't that the question?
But you said her, like, is automatically going to be a daughter. You already have a daughter. You're like, I'd love her either way.
I would, if my
Like,
daughter was
no, I
struck
mean,
with
like-
autism today, I would still love her very much.
Just gonna just catch it like COVID.
Hashtag find a cure.
Oh my gosh. Do you think like you go through like denial? Do you think maybe you'd be like, oh man, why my kid? You know, or do you think it would be just like acceptance? What do I do now?
Is there an autistic military school?
Damn.
Send him back when he's a grown man.
Believe it or not, there are residential programs for the more extreme cases.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
If I had to think long and hard, I think there'd be a coping period, just because you have a certain expectation of what life is going to be like, and
Your plans have changed.
Yeah, your plans have changed drastically. Yes.
Yep.
And
Yep. Absolutely.
I think it would be a frantic amount of research and understanding and preparation. I was actually curious what the rate of like people who put their kids up for adoptions are when they start to have like autistic tendencies.
Yeah.
If there's like horrible people that do that.
I haven't seen. I do know that before like there was actual diagnosis, it was super common to like institutionalize your children.
Yeah.
Or it was just assumed you were a bad kid and they beat it out of you, which you can do. It does work. If somebody
told you.
is beaten, if they're beaten enough, they'll learn to do what's called masking. They'll be high functioning, high masking. It actually like destroys them mentally. Absolutely,
but makes them socially
annihilates them.
acceptable.
No, it doesn't. It just makes them functioning and not understanding why they do the things they.
I was looking for the chimes button when I said that.
Oh my god.
I was gonna be like, you beat at them. Sure, it destroys them mentally, but they're socially acceptable.
Yeah, no. Oh my god. No, chances are they'll still have no friends
Yeah.
because they don't know how to get along with other. Like I remember being a kid. Like if one of my parents had said something to me like no, you can't do this, and my response was like there'd be a flash of white light, and I'd be picking myself up off the floor and being like, maybe I shouldn't do that again. You know.
Yep.
And 7 or 8 times later, I would stop doing it.
I guess it would have the similar effect. I mean, Mike, I don't know what you dealt with. I ended up that type of discipline so much to where it had to be sneaky. So it would be like, hey, come here, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And you walk up and it's bam. You're like, oh no. And then the yelling starts. It had to become sneaky because I'd stop coming and talking to my parents and be like, nah, just go hide in my room. And I wonder if that same feeling is inside. I'm sure a kid with autism, it's just amplified in a certain way.
Mm-hmm, it's possible.
On occasion, I got whoopings for things I was going to do. Like if my dad had like a business trip coming up, I would get a whooping for the misbehavior I was going to do while he was gone.
Well, might as well just get it out of the way now. It's going to be inevitable.
I would call this preventative maintenance.
Well, yeah, like, and then my kid brain, I'd be like, well, I paid up front. Now I am going to.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, now I have permission. I've already gotten beat for it. It's thought crime. You were in Minority Report growing up.
That only happened like 2 or 3 times, but yeah. My girlfriend is a nurse and she works in a GI lab. And last night she was on call, so she got called in. A prisoner swallowed a nail clipper, and surprise, surprise, it messed up his esophagus on the way down. Well, they couldn't find it in his system, so they had to go back in this afternoon to look for it some more. And again, could not find it. So now she has to go back in tomorrow.
At the airport.
Right. I'm going to let her know. Like, I do magnet fishing. I have 2,000-pound magnets. We can get that thing out of him right away. Just put him in an MRI machine.
It just rips through all of his organs to the top. It's like Alien.
Well, I'm texting her that right now. I just said, just put him in an MRI machine. We'll see what she says. That's going to be fun.
Text her Schwarzenegger or Stallone.
You're trying to get another win. This is a Stallone family, dude.
Hold on. I'll ask her.
Well, anyway, I guess while we're waiting on that.
Do you think there is a rise of people using my child's on the spectrum as a way to mask bad behavior?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially if they make absolutely zero effort to get the child evaluated. Because, like, it's a pain in the ass to get an evaluation once the decision was made. So you have to take them to a pediatrician. The pediatrician looks at them. Then you get a referral. And then you take that referral and you call the place and they send you a packet. And you fill that packet out. And in my case, when I mailed it back, they lost it. And when I called them, they were like, well, you never sent it to us. And I'm like, yes, it did. And then they sent me another packet.
Turns out you could have just done it online this whole time.
Right.
Never ending.
Well, no, like it's a whole packet about basically that test you were doing, and then also like financial questions and stuff and all this. It's like 25 pages. It's insanity. And then they schedule an appointment with you. It takes them 3 months to go through the packet, and then they go, you qualify for an evaluation, and then you get an appointment, which is a year away. And it's a process. And then you have people who are like, I don't need that. My kid's autistic. It's like, I mean, if he is, he probably needs like special therapies and counseling in certain classes. No, he's autistic. He's fine.
Do you think that there's a real threat or problem with people raising their kids as if they are on the spectrum, but they're not?
What is that, like Munchausen syndrome?
Munchausen syndrome.
Where you make somebody sick on purpose because it like satisfies some sort of need with you.
Yeah, taking advantage of being treated with those special gloves. Like that kid's gonna learn how to get over on their parents.
I do have good news though.
Do you?
I just
Another quiz?
No. I just went ahead and answered that last question, which is whether or not loud noises bother you, and I just said sometimes, and the quiz is over.
Oh,
there was one more.
Oh, wow.
There was one more question on the quiz. So
we gave up on the last question.
So this is mild autism spectrum traits. Mild. Based on your responses, you show some mild traits that could be associated with the autism spectrum. While you may not exhibit all characteristics commonly associated with autism, there are certain aspects of social interaction, sensory sensitivity, and communication that you may find challenging. It is important to remember that everyone is unique and special, and there is a wide range of behaviors and traits within the autism spectrum. If you feel that there are traits that are impacting your daily life, consider seeking a professional evaluation for further guidance and support.
Wow.
And an advertisement.
Maybe I just don't like people touching me. Keep your hands to yourself.
It's probably it.
I like I said at the top of the episode is my personal theory is once they put this thing on a spectrum, CJ, like you were saying, there were separate diagnoses and names for different things. Now they just kind of put it on a spectrum. That automatically, in my mind, makes us all on that spectrum. if you're going to put human beings on a spectrum of mental faculties,
Yeah.
then we all have to have traits. There's times where I look at the mirror and I'm like, am I a little
Quirky?
Am I a little what did you call it? What's the correct term? Intellectually disabled? Like I think there's times where I Mike, you pointed this out when we were children. I'll say something and then I'll mouth the thing I said after I said it.
Yeah. Or you'll mouth what people are saying as they're saying it.
As they're saying it, yes. And this is something I didn't realize until you pointed out to me when we were little.
Oh.
So now I've consciously ever since then thought about it, and I'll catch myself doing it when I'm by myself watching something on my phone or something.
Okay.
And that's got to be somewhere on a spectrum
It's
of
gotta
something,
be there, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I used to always say like super weird, obnoxious stuff that I thought was funny.
Bear
Because
periods.
no, right.
Well,
I have a
That was
weird sense of
appropriate.
humor. And I used to get bullied a lot. Like, I mean, bullied. I know what the inside of my high school toilets taste like.
like shit.
Yeah, sort of.
Tap
like
water.
really dense water and
Not the
smells
worst
funny. There was no shit in the toilet, fortunately. No one dropped off a loaf before I got my head put
Oh,
in
wait,
there.
wait. Hold on, CJ. Let me flush this for you real quick.
Hold on, wait.
They got a floater in there. That'd be very rude. It'd be very rude.
We're bullies, not monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I learned how to code switch. Oh, this is a nerd group? No problem. Bang. Instant nerd. Like, oh, this is a preppy group? No problem. Now I'm a prep and I can handle that. But
it's
it's
a
like
gangbang?
it's like a
Okay.
defense.
It's Roman
Right.
orgy.
Where am
Caligula.
I? How did I get here? I don't usually leave my house, and this is how it happens.
So you
No,
call it code switching?
That's pretty much what it's referred to.
Is that what
as.
it's referred to as?
Yeah, I didn't make that up. I wish I did. That's brilliant. But no, I didn't make that up.
That's interesting because I that's why the way I would describe when you fit into a group, you just like, hey, these are my friends, and then you just quickly kind of figure out what the vibe is, and you become that.
It's like you have like the cliques and groups you naturally assimilate with, and code switching is like an ability to kind of be like a social chameleon. You know, I can just blend and just kind of be there, you know, and not draw attention to myself. That way I don't get bullied.
You could be a spy then.
Well, yeah, I think you have lower standards for like FBI and stuff now. I don't think you need to be that sneaky.
We do have an answer from my girlfriend. She did say Sylvester Stallone.
God
Yes!
damn it!
Yes!
Damn it!
I told you,
Damn it,
Mike.
CJ!
Ask you. And I did what I had to do to win. But somebody wouldn't let us win.
I can send a screenshot if you don't believe.
No, I believe you. You wouldn't lie to us.
2-1, Mike. Why'd you do that to yourself?
Do you want to count my answer again? It's a new
No.
season.
No.
It is a new season because we did ask him this last year.
No, Jeremy, because you know what the risk I have is?
CJ, go ahead. We're
No,
gonna
no,
accept it.
We're not going to accept
Yeah,
it.
what's your new answer?
Nope.
You've got a new answer?
Not
for
ready
those-
to get this.
the
Cynthia,
show?
don't count this one.
Cynthia, this is totally legit because people are humans and they change.
I don't care. They can't answer twice.
We're
We're
gonna
not
code
ready.
switch.
We already have the answer. He's already answered it. Well, thank you, CJ. We really appreciate you coming on the show again and giving us an update on the last time you were on the show and and bringing us this podcast that you stole. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Where
no
did you
problem.
Where did you find this podcast?
Where did I find that?
I mean, you were in a Chuck E. Cheese suit, so I'm very interested to find out how you did that. You stole it from
Oh no, he stole it from a bunch
an
of
autistic
kids
children at a birthday party
at Chuck E. Cheese.
at Chuck E. Cheese.
No, no. It's not the creepy middle-aged man just hanging out at an autistic child's birthday party.
It sounds like exactly what happened.
The last Chuck E. Cheese in Pennsylvania.
But we still have them. It's 5 minutes from my house, but it's terrible.
They all are.
But no. Where did I?
Very simple question.
So about that. Anyway, I might have just been looking for some promotion,
What?
Promotion.
What do you mean?
and you guys seemed a little desperate.
Desperate?
What do you mean?
You're throwing darts at stuff.
Wait, is this subterfuge?
Would you say you are somewhat offended now?
I'm I'm somewhat offended if if what you're hinting at is the truth. Is this your podcast?
Yes.
Gasp.
I respect it.
Oh, you gotta respect the grind.
I respect it.
So you came in here like a knight in shining armor, but instead you're the shit man who brings the shit. Well, in that case, where can people find your podcast, CJ?
Right now, pretty much everywhere. It's on Apple, Spotify, all this. We're going to be doing weekly uploads. I'm actually going to be recording something a little bit later with sort of like a mini-sode to kind of give the audience what it's like to talk to a child with autism and see how those comments go or don't go because he might not be in the mood.
Fascinating.
And then we're on Twitter. You guys were the first person that I followed on Twitter.
We'll follow you back.
You did already.
Oh, good.
You were my first follow.
Did we hire somebody?
Wait, do you work for us now? Is that how it works?
Oh, no, never mind. You didn't.
Oh, well, then I'll
Infinite rabbit
remedy
hole.
that. We will follow you back.
Yeah. I'm also getting lots of women wearing skimpy clothes following me,
Oh, nice.
which is concerning given my subject material.
I think there's it's like how comedians have women that want to fuck. There's women that want to fuck comedians. They're chuckle fuckers.
Chuckle fuckers.
There's got to be a chuckle fucker for dads who are raising autistic children.
That's a disturbing one.
They might be into it.
Be like, no, I mean, you want to bang me because my kid?
Oh, you're so
I don't
patient.
like that.
You're so patient.
I don't like it.
Well, anyway, I think so we are Mjsy-Pod. MJSYPOD on all the things. We're on X, Twitter. We're on Facebook. Actually, next week, we're doing an episode with John from John Breaks Bad News.
I'm excited about that.
Yes, so if you did submit any of your bad news for us to give to a stranger, then you'll be able to listen to that then. And we have our playlist, Mjsy playlist on Spotify with all the bands that we feature. If you want us to feature your band, you can send us an email to UHJYEAH at mjsypod.com. We just revamped the website. It looks great and new and exciting.
It does look pretty good.
It looks
I like
really
it.
great. So thank you, Emma, for helping me with the website. She's wonderful. She works at the Dandelion Web Design. So good stuff. Shout out to you.
Mike, we have a phone number.
CJ, what's our phone number?
It's 903-287-0660.
Oh, there it is. Hey.
Yep. Call that
I have
number.
you guys saved in my phone book.
Oh, nice.
Call that number, leave a voicemail, we'll play it on the show.
Or text.
Just call and one of us will answer. We can shoot the shit.
If you're a hot chick who wants to talk to me, I'll answer it.
And we'll direct you to CJ.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, you have all those ladies in skimpy clothing following you.
Talk to CJ.
Very-
He'll
very
talk me up,
exciting.
and then you'll want to talk to me more.
I am a fantastic wingman. You know what? You can borrow my kid. He's a great wingman. He'll tell them they got fat booty.
Oh, nice. Rent an autistic kid. This is a new business model.
Something we've been working on.
That'll stay in the episode.
Oh my God.
We gotta end the episode. All right, Jeremy, I love you.
I love you too.
I love
buddy.
you, CJ.
Love you, CJ.
Love you guys too.
Love you, Logan.
Peace.
Peace. Or bye. What? That was weird. I didn't like that. Nope. Do that again.
No.
Give me the fingers. Give me the peace.
Oh, what a great episode. Once again, we did it. We pulled it off. And normally, Jeremy, we give the podcast back at the end of the episode.
Yes, we
but
do.
CJ, get over here, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Come to find out this was your podcast that you
Sneaky little devil.
sneaky little guy said that you stole for us, and it was just your podcast. So you stole your own podcast, huh?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, you can do that, right? It's called insurance fraud, but
We're gonna keep it for a while.
What?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep it. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it.
Mike, it gets so loud sometimes, dude.
Normally
I don't
we
know if
give it back. We're not giving it back.
Mike, the podcast taking all of its clothes off.
What?
No, I don't think we should keep it. It's taking all of its clothes off.
Oh no.
It's ruining the studio, Mike.
Okay, never mind.
No,
Never mind.
You took away its bag of
Take
cheese.
it back. Take it back.
I think you should deal with it for a little while. Actually,
We were giving him a vacation. He was gonna let it go.
do you guys use Reaper at all?
I've never used it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's free, but it won't stop itself from working if you don't.
If you don't what?
Oh no, the Reaper got him.
Oh no. Reaper got him.